Welcome to Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. This is not your typical financial radio show. As a licensed CPA, insurance agent, and investment advisory representative, Chris coaches his clients on a holistic view of financial well-being with an objective of providing a complete financial strategy to fund life's goals. Chris is here to guide you down the path to the financial serenity you deserve. Now, here's Chris Cooper.
All right. So every now and then, I talk a lot about how taxes are terrible and how I hate paying taxes and how I really don't enjoy the concept of taxation and income taxes and all this stuff. But we got to understand that taxes do fund good things in our society. And so in studio with me today, I have some folks that are really helpful in seeing what we can add in our society about taxes. And so we're going to talk a little bit about taxes today from a different angle. And so in studio with me today, I've got representatives from BCI out in St. Peter's with us. Troy, Brian, how are you guys doing today?
Oh, fantastic, Chris. Thanks for having us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian,
Doing
hello.
great.
Doing great?
Yeah.
Good. So I had the wonderful opportunity to tour your facility today, and it was just so amazing. Just getting hugs and high fives, as you say it, from workers in what you guys do. So talk a little bit about what you guys do at BCI.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I'll steal Brian's quote. He says, we always bring purpose and hope to individuals, and we do that. We provide purpose and hope to adults with disabilities through meaningful employment opportunities at BCI. So that's what we're all about. You saw our packaging facility today where we employ up to 235 adults with disabilities. That's half of what we do. We do another 200 or so or more in the community every year as well. So we are proud recipients of some tax support from the community. So you are a stakeholder in our success.
I think it's amazing. And like I was saying, I really, people think about how they hate paying taxes and when we want to try to reduce our taxation, but there are some really valuable programs that exist because of taxes. And I know a lot of what you guys receive in funding, some of that comes from our property taxes in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. So if you probably saw your personal property tax bill here recently and your real estate taxes bill. I mean, a lot of people escrow that, but if you look at that line item breakdown, you'll see ambulance district, school, library district, but then you'll see developmental disabilities. And that's who we support at BCI is individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the line item that's seen on property tax where you actually get that benefit and to stay in the community, which is kind of nice.
That's right. That's why I always say you're a stakeholder in the success of our people.
It's beautiful.
And we do get that tax money, but we also fund 85% of our operation through selling our packaging services. And that's what Brian does every day out there hustling. So, we're not just 100% solely subsidized by taxpayer money. We go out there and hustle for our own funds as well.
Well, absolutely. Brian, it's a pretty state-of-the-art packaging facility.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We have over 15 production lines, as you saw. We have bench work, which we have to do hand work for our people, and we go to the left part of our plant. We can produce up to 40 packages a minute, depending on the packaging line. So you saw you had a great demonstration today from Chris and Jeff about the rolling and folding balloons.
It was great.
We process 40,000 balloons a week. So.
If I wanted to see it again, I could have seen like 3 or 4 times, I think, too.
Wasn't that an energetic presentation?
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't get that. So I've seen a lot of production floors in my career in various different industries, and there was a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, pride for what they do. And just happiness to be there. You guys had some nice music going as well, which I think is also unique to the production environment. You don't get to see that all the time. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And you mentioned the word pride, Chris. So, our people take great pride. We actually have what's called a great catch. So if something's going wrong on a production line, our people have the ability to raise their hand, bring it to the attention of their supervisor. Yeah. They get a great catch, and they get rewarded at our huddle about what they've done that particular day. So.
And that speaks to the quality as well of your production lines, which is no different than any other production facility, really.
Yeah, that is very true. But the difference is we have a lot more smiles and hugs and high fives.
I have not seen as many high fives and hugs as I could have seen today. That's for sure. So, and I think, just like many other production facilities also, I saw some safety as well is a big piece of what you do.
We review safety every day at our huddle, and it's very important because we do have adults with disabilities. And we were kind of joking around that when I'm at home and my wife is listening to the huddle, sometimes we have accidents in our cafeteria. People will bump into each other and kind of fall over. And that could be the most dangerous room we have in our plant. But we take it to great extent to make sure that our people are safe.
Absolutely. No, and I think, again, there's a lot of similarities in production floors across the country. But I think that one of the biggest differences, the workers that you guys have, there's a lot of pride in what you guys do. And I think that might be applicable to many different ones as well, but it's not with so many smiles, that's for sure. So definitely not with so many smiles. So Brian, you've built the business quite a bit over the last couple of years, I think, right?
Yeah, Troy allowed me to join his organization about 2.5 years ago, and we've been able to diversify our business base. We've added several customers who bring in project work, and we're constantly looking for work that's ongoing every day. The more our people do production jobs, the better, quicker they get. So
talk to me about what kind of jobs would be things that you guys should be involved in looking at to see if it might make some sense for companies.
We do a lot of like quarter, half pallet displays, point of purchase displays, fulfillment, kitting, hardware kits. We do a lot of small engine repair kits. We mentioned the balloons. We're rolling up a balloon and putting it inside of a card, which goes into a retail package. We do multi-packs, 2, 3, 4 packs. We kind of fill a void for our customers. Sometimes their customers change their production lines. Sure. So we fill that void that we can react to their needs for the major retailers. Sometimes they don't have labor. We fill that void. And it just depends on the opportunities that customers, bring to us. I mean, right. We're constantly out searching. So my favorite line, and Troy gets a kick, is, who do you know that I should know to shorten my sales cycle?
Sure.
And it's made a big difference. We've added about 35 customers in the last 2.5 years?
Yeah, I'd say that's right about correct, Brian, about 35. And I'd like to go back to you joining BCI. Speaking of a customer, one of our best customers is True Manufacturing, but not necessarily from the packaging standpoint. So not only do we solve packaging issues for customers, but True Manufacturing has a labor shortage in the community. And we've trained over 50 individuals through our Skills Center Development Program, and now who work competitively at True Manufacturing. So that's a whole other side of the work we do. But Ken Talley at True Manufacturing, who's the one who sent Brian over to me, I was getting ready to make another offer to a salesperson, and he goes, "Hey, you should talk to Brian Corrigan first." And that was the moment that really changed, I think, the trajectory of our packaging when I brought Brian on. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about, in today's world, we talk a lot about people not working or, staffing issues all over the place. Do you guys have staffing issues like anyone else?
I would say no.
Yeah.
I think we have 60 people on our waiting list, actually.
That's incredible.
The more work that we can bring into our facility, the better off we can diversify the work and employ more people.
Sure.
And actually what we want to do is celebrate people leaving BCI too. We celebrate growth and development as part of our mission statement. So if somebody can start with us and then we can develop and grow them and then place them in the community, we see that as a win too. Or a lot of people, they see somebody leave their company, they're upset.
Right.
And we celebrate. So,
oh, that's great. So you talk, and that's what your partnership is with True.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So they can come in, progress, become a full-time employer or part-time even at True Manufacturing.
That's right. We have partnerships with True. It's one of our longest partners for over 5 years now, but also with Distribution Management, Embassy Suites, BJC Healthcare, Didion Orff, Emerson. So we have several partners in the community. That's just the ones we do skill center development with. But we also partner with about 50 other employers who we just do direct competitive employment placement with them as well. We place over 80 individuals a year in different jobs throughout the community.
That's incredible. Now, when you do this, I think you guys also do some of the training that goes with that as well, right?
Yes, that's right. That's our skill center development, and it's a Missouri Department of Higher Education vocational training course. So it's certified as a secondary education
Very nice.
course. It's 120 hours long, and when they graduate from that course, they become employees of whatever partner employer we're working with.
That's
True.
That's incredible. So giving the ability to continue. And then I have a feeling that is a little bit better retention rate than a lot of their workers as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think at 2 years now, we're at 80% retention rate at True. I think that's the
pretty powerful. Yeah. And I'm not sure what their overall retention rate is, but I'm sure that's helping for sure.
Yeah, they. I think Mike Lucas over there said we're about 40% higher.
Wow.
Over 2 years.
That's incredible. And that goes to the smiles, right? So.
And they don't they go in with a purpose, like, Troy mentioned earlier. So
right.
they enjoy it. They have the ability to do their jobs. And you asked me a question today, like, what do our people do? And I turn it around and you imagine what we can do, not what we can't do.
Right.
So We evaluate every job that comes in. We look at it through our estimating system. We apply how many people we're going to need to do the job, perform the job, and then we train the people. And our production manager is very gifted at putting those puzzle pieces together on our production line.
So when you guys do quote work, is it based on the job, or how do you guys kind of quote works for the customers that you serve?
We sell labor. Okay. We sell opportunity in labor. So we look at the amount of time it's going to take, how many items we can produce per minute, how many people we're going to have to employ to make that happen and meet the customer's needs. And then we run it through our estimating system, and we have a team that looks at it, and then we determine if we believe we can make money doing it. 'Cause we are a nonprofit, but we still have to make money to keep the lights open, to keep the doors open, and then we present it to the customer. So we get some feedback, whether we're good or bad, like anything else in sales. Yeah. So some customers are very accommodating, other customers that, it can be very challenging. So,
well, I think when you guys receive an order, though, your order comes with the gift of employment to somebody with special needs, which is pretty neat.
It is a great tagline. When I've told purchasing people before, any other purchase order you're written in your life may not make a difference, but you're making a difference out on our floor.
Absolutely.
It's critical that we continue to grow that business. So we mentioned earlier labor. We have 15 production lines. We just manage the capacity. We can grow very quickly to meet our customers' needs based off of that. And when you toured our facility today, we showed you the building B, which we call it. We're going to add 2 production lines in there so we can add additional people. We get compensated now on 2 factors. So, if we're making a little bit of money to the bottom line and how many more people we can employ.
Right.
So, and when you toured today, I mentioned that we have to be competitive. So but we never lose sight of our mission. So we have enough automation to be competitive for our customers, but we never lose sight that our main purpose is to employ people.
Right. So Troy, your main mission is probably just to figure out how these 50 or so, 60 people that you have on the waiting list can actually become employees.
That's 100% right, Chris. Yeah. So that's the one thing that I tell my board keeps me up at night is keeping our people employed who we have in our plan, but then how do I get those folks off our waiting list? So, and we're really thankful to have a lot of different programming options available to them. But, you think about somebody maybe sitting at home and mom and dad are waiting for their call. Right. And so that hits me in the heart every night when I go to bed. So.
Well, and it's a great atmosphere. There's socialization. I mean, as human beings, we have a desire to work, to do things. We need to be fulfilled, and giving the ability to provide that opportunity to folks with special needs in a safe, warm, friendly environment, I think adds powerful, and it gives them purpose, which helps add a lot of value as well. So that's pretty cool.
We've also often thought we were like the best kept secret in St. Charles County. We are also in Lincoln County, so we have a facility up in Moscow Mills, but did you know much about BCI before you?
No, not too much. Not too much. Unfortunately, I wish I had, because now I feel like, man, I could have, how much could I have known all this time? So I've been part of. So it's really cool. So I'm looking forward to, speaking of cool events and being able to be involved, one of the things that I'm looking forward to being involved in with BCI is the gala that's in May. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that's our Derby After Dark gala. Yeah. I think we're the best Derby party in the St. Louis region. So
you better be, because my Derby schedule is pretty big. So, I was looking online at some of the pictures, and this is pretty big deal. Like I've got to step up my dress game quite a bit here, it looks like.
Oh, that's right. You and Brian will be competing for the best dressed male, I hope.
Oh boy.
We'll see how it shakes out.
I think I might just give it to you, Brian.
There are some people who go all out and very impressed with the way they're dressed.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. So this gala is an annual thing that you guys have done, fundraising opportunity.
That's right. It's our biggest one of the year. We have 2 big events. We have our golf tournament and the gala. We'll have about 500 people there to celebrate our mission and to fundraise so we can put people to work. Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about.
I think that's great. I mean, we all, it's so, in today's world, we talk a lot about, people just don't want to work anymore. And here you are sitting at what everyone else would say is an incredible retention rate for employment. And you've got 60 people on a wait list, and you're sitting here keeping up, worried about how you can try to employ more people. Right. I just think that that's really powerful. So that's pretty neat. That's why we need to make sure we get more growth in what you do, give you the opportunities to get business, to give you the ability to put people to work. That's pretty powerful. That's right.
We've been in business since 1959. 2 mothers who had sons with adults with disabilities came in and started Boone Center. And we go by BCI. But you met Chris, or you met Tim today, Chris.
Yeah, I did.
What, 47 years
47 years
in March.
Employment.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That. And he shows up every day with a smile on his face.
Really? Yeah. And I saw some really cool shirts too today. I saw a lot of Star Wars shirts. I could have had a lot more conversations. I didn't want to interrupt the workforce. So I could have gone on and on and on. I saw a lot of Marvel comic book shirts as well, which is always cool to see also. So
You're listening to Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. To learn more and schedule a call with Chris, visit SerenityNowRadio.com. That's SerenityNowRadio.com.
all right, let's talk about taxes. More importantly, let's talk about freedom from taxes, right? Tax freedom, wouldn't that be nice? Tax freedom in retirement, cutting the cord with the IRS. That is the topic of our next workshop, and we have a special invitation coming your way. 2 nights to choose from. The first one, Thursday, January the 30th, or Tuesday, February the 4th, taking place over at Stone Summit Steak and Seafood in Wentzville, Missouri. Our website has all the details, including registration information. Space is limited. Get that freedom from the tax code by registering for this event and joining us for an evening of some fun-filled financial conversation. Get that financial serenity you deserve. Register at SerenityWealthNow.com.
Serenity Now! This is Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. To learn more and schedule a call with Chris, visit SerenityNowRadio.com.
So what happens? I've been around a lot of production floors. You know, work kind of has its ebbs and flows. So what happens at BCI when fulfillment issues happen and you can't get a truck doesn't come in as expected? What do you guys have to do then?
Well, Chris, one thing we don't do, we don't furlough and lay off folks during that time. And I came from a hospital environment, you low census your nursing staff, right? And send them home. We don't do that, right? We're here to take care of that family, that unit. And so when these things happen, and sometimes they're unpredictable, we'll have to engage in other development opportunities, do education and training for them in those downtimes. Occasionally we'll have a little fun, have little dance parties, and that's what Brian doesn't want to see is us having dance parties. But we do fill that time with training and education for sure. Yeah. To support those individuals, and hopefully that's a short window of time where we have to do that. But we've had some stretches there where that's gone on for several days, and it gets to all of us because we know that's not meaningful, and so it's up to Brian to sell to that capacity sometimes. But the supply chain disruptions do happen, and we fill it with meaningful, purposeful education and training.
So it sounds fun to me to be able to come in when you guys have some downtime and see some dance parties and get some hugs and high fives. But that means Brian's not having a good day.
That means Brian's not doing his job. If it's not a scheduled dance party, then that means something's happened with one of our customers.
Yeah, that's right.
But in today's world, we've all heard supply chain issues. So sometimes there's things that are beyond our control. So we manage best we can. And that's why it's important to have. We talked about a job today that we sometimes fill in just to give people something to do while we're slow. So it's, we've done a nice job. We're diversifying our business and we're continuing to add people, but no more dance parties is a good thing.
Now, I know obviously people are earning a paycheck with you all as well, but that's really not what you're trying to do. You're really trying to provide purpose.
That's right. Meaningful, purposeful work. So they can grow and develop in any way that meets their needs, right, and their family's needs. So, I would say if you went around asking each of them how much they made, they probably wouldn't be able to tell you necessarily, but they love their paychecks every couple of
because they earned it. It's theirs. Yeah. They feel good about it, right?
That's right. That's right. But we do have folks, there is, as you saw today, we pay on a scale. So we pay commensurate to someone's production capabilities. And we have a standard that we meet. And if whatever they're at, whatever spot in that standard there are, that's what they get paid. So we pay commensurate wage. And unfortunately, the federal government is looking to shut that down, that opportunity for them. So, which means that we'd have to pay everybody a set rate.
That's set minimum wage kind of standard, if you, so to speak, right? When we hear about that minimum wage, you guys currently are exempt.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And unfortunately, for some folks, at 20% of the standard of that job, that's kind of where they're going to be for most of their career. And for them and their family, that's okay. We still try to grow and develop them. But if we have to hit a minimum standard for them, they're likely unemployable. Within us, we could probably make it work, maybe. Outside the community, it'd be very challenging.
Well, and I just don't think it makes sense. And it's not in that individual's best interest either. That individual isn't coming to work every day necessarily for that paycheck. There's some government subsidies. And again, this is another, we talk about taxes. I don't like paying into my Social Security benefit, but SSDI, Social Security Disability, that disability, folks that you employ are also receiving that disability income. And if they continue to work, earning additional monies, they could lose some of that ability to qualify for some of those governmental run programs.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We have one gentleman I think of in our plant today. He's a very good worker. He's a little bit above the minimum wage. But if he makes another $1 more or works another hour more, he's going to lose about 2,000 hours of benefit. That really helps support his life, his residential care, his transportation to work.
Right.
That would all go away. Plus his healthcare insurance, which he gets through Medicaid,
absolutely,
or Medicare. So he didn't have to pay that out of pocket. So
right.
Now I'm paying the minimum wage or higher, but now he's going to have to pay $500 a month into his health plan with a company.
Right. So it doesn't help you. It doesn't help your organization, and it also doesn't help at the end of the day the individual, which is really what's the most important mission.
That's right.
Well, when you toured today, you saw we call them our bench work. So those are the most vulnerable population that we have. And most of those people, as Troy said, are there because they want to be there. No one's being held under,
I saw the most smiles right there.
Yeah, smiles. So, there's something called 14C that they're trying to eliminate. And it's, it could be devastating to our population and what the mission we're about.
No,
I think didn't Illinois implement something like that in a lot of places, or shutting down? Or
state by state, there's some decisions being made to eliminate commensurate wage payment, and but on the back end, there's no extra support for that person to get supported in community employment either. So it's kind of short-sighted in many ways. So
that's pretty typical of those kind of things, right? It sounds good on the surface, but when you start digging in deeper, it just doesn't make sense. It's going to come from one place or the other. And either way, the programs that exist need to be funded. They need to be funded properly. And quite frankly, some of these little nuances with a bill, change a lot, So I mean, in Missouri, we just had the thing pass about the minimum wage and the sick pay thing, coming through. And I'm like, how's that going to make sense overall? I don't know. So, but it's going to come from somewhere. And I think if it changes what your workforce receives in Social Security disability, I believe you guys have folks that help manage and maximize those benefits as well, right?
That's right. That's one of our biggest service lines is actually our benefits counseling support. Sandy Weecamp does that for us. She's going to have about 500 different families she intervenes with this year who are trying to navigate the benefit landscape and what employment means to their loved one. And
do they have to be employed for that, or is that something that your folks on the wait list have already gone through?
Many of them gone through. Anybody in the community, it doesn't matter if you're associated with BCR or not, can call us up and talk to Sandy and get an appointment with her. And we actually provide that service not only in St. Charles County, but Lincoln County, St. Louis County, and we've expanded actually into Southwest Missouri too. So we operate under a brand name down there of Imagine Technical Institute, but Sandy's also available to folks in Southwest Missouri as well.
So I whenever I talk to somebody that the special needs child situation, it's important to understand the estate planning needs, because if you have asset bases or you have an income stream that ends up coming through for somebody that has special needs, it's going to impact and influence their ability to receive governmental funding. So you have to be very careful in how you plan for those kind of things.
Yeah, I think it would be very, very helpful for families, if they have some financial planning needs, to speak to somebody like you, talk about what a special needs trust could look like.
Yeah.
What's it mean for that loved one of theirs if mom and dad is no longer with us, unfortunately, those things need to be planned out well in advance. And we've seen those situations play out. Unfortunately, we have a big population.
Yeah.
And we will step in there and help, but it's really better off if it's kind of laid out ahead of time.
Well, I always tell you want to plan for these uncomfortable conversations. While they're uncomfortable, at least they're conversations you're having right now. Whereas if you don't have them because they're uncomfortable and then you just prolong them, and then the what if happens, you didn't have that conversation, but now there's a big mess that is there that is not probably your goals. Your goals are not probably being met right now. That's because you didn't have those conversations in advance. So plan early, plan often, and make sure revisit it. Make sure that those goals and objectives still stay the same. So absolutely. So with the holiday season now behind us, do you guys kind of slow down during that time frame a little bit, or is it pretty much year round, pretty much consistent?
We have some ebbs and flows because everybody kind of slows it up around the holidays, but we're working, and we work today. We'll work tomorrow. We'll be off New Year's Day, but for the most part, we're full line packaging company trying to meet and exceed our customers' expectations.
Now, I think I saw some warehousing space that you guys are looking to rent out too now, right?
Yeah, we do. We have some warehouse space. If you have a 48 by 40 by 56 inch pallet, we have about 1,500 spaces we can talk about.
All right, there you go.
That helps support our entire packaging operation.
Sure.
It helps build, for our growth in the warehousing. So.
Which puts people to work.
People to work. So
it's also a great training environment. So we do distribution services is just another spot where we really love to train people. So distribution management, I mentioned earlier, is one of our skill center partners. And so warehousing, the 370 corridor here in St. Charles County is just a huge logistics warehousing operation. And we can supply very talented labor to a lot of different companies if they just want to open their doors up and hearts to the folks we are training. So.
And I have a feeling that it changes a little bit of the dynamic and the culture at the employer as well.
That's right.
When you bring these folks in.
Right. When you toured our plant today, right, you saw that love, right? And so we want to plant those little seeds of that love and purpose out in the community because they're going to be your best employees, but they're going to show up with a smile every day too. So, and we're there to support them. So when we place someone in a other facility and they're the employee of that employer, we also provide supported employment. So we put a job coach on site with them, not every hour of the day, but 3 to 6 hours a month. We're there to support that employee, the manager, diversity training, and everything that employer may need to make sure that person and the company is successful.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, it's a very important mission. I know it started as Stacy and I got a chance to tour the facility today and take a look at the buildings and everything and see everybody. And just a beautiful mission, doing the right things in the community right here in our community. And if you live in the St. Charles community, you guys offer tours to a lot of other folks too as well.
Yeah, come in anytime you want. Just reach out to myself or Brian, and we'll set up a tour. I think it's the best way to see it and understand our capability. But just get tied into our mission. We love the support.
Yeah. Now I wish I had things that I'm looking for. What could we do to have a production line, automation going here? Figure out how to put some more people. I want to see if we can reduce this wait list you have. So.
It's always about who you know, not so much what you know.
There it is. That's right. That's right. Well, if you guys really want a smile on your face, go to booncenter.com, BOONE center.com. They've got some great videos about the work that they do. Some of you can see some things in action there as well. Learn about opportunities and get a hold of these guys, or just reach out to us and make sure we'll get you in touch with the right folks because it'll change your day for sure. I know it did us. We started our day off with a nice little smile today because we got a chance to see you guys. So. Thank you guys for all you do in the community, getting people who want to work and in a good, safe environment. So.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
All right. So it's important, guys. Taxes, we don't like paying them. But guys, believe it or not, taxes do fund some really cool things out there. And this is just one small example of how our tax revenue helps the folks in our community, the folks most, I think, Brian, you said it best, at risk, right? It is really neat to see when you can put those tax dollars at work, what they can do to make a difference right here in our community. So check it out, Boone Center, BCI, right here in the St. Charles County area. Okay, folks, and make sure plan early, plan often. Special needs, especially important. Make sure you remember that because our financial goals do outlive us. That's really the most important message you can have here. Plan about these kinds of things. Plan for the unknown. Make sure you have those uncomfortable conversations because that's really what makes a difference. Our financial goals do outlive us, and that's how you make sure you get the serenity you deserve.
This has been Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. To learn more and schedule a call with Chris, visit SerenityNowRadio.com. That's SerenityNowRadio.com.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.